Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So, welcome to the show, and we're talking about the episode that a lot of people have probably been looking forward to me talking to most when it comes to the original first season of Star Trek. And that is the episode Space Seed. This episode is most well known as being the introduction to the Kirk's biggest rival and / enemy, in this case, Khan Noon Singh, and of course portrayed by Ricardo Montalban. So let's dive right in and discuss this episode. So what are some interesting little details to give off before we get into the nit and gritty? So the episode was directed by Mark Daniels, and story by Carrie Wilbur, and the teleplay was done by Gene L. Kuhn and Carrie Wilbur, and as well as the cinematography. Again, we have returning of Jay Finnerman. So who is in the cast for this episode of Star Trek? Like we just said, Ricardo Montalban as Khan Noon Singh, Madeline Rue as Lieutenant Maria McGivers, and Blaisdell Mason as Spinell, and Mark Tobin as Joaquin. So, what was this episode about? Well, the Enterprise end up encountering a sleeper ship holding selectively branded super soldiers, super individuals.
Blowing it clear first. Spock out.
From the Earth's past, with their leader Khan Noon Singh. Basically, he tries to end up taking over the Enterprise. My God, I'm going to say before we get into, say the great things about this episode. My God, Montalban, he does a fantastic job as the villain. He is what, in a way, like his charisma, he sells it, and the fact that not also keep in mind he was quite a bit of an attractive man.
Under dozens of petty dictatorships.
One man would have ruled eventually. As Rome under Caesar, think of its accomplishments.
Then your sympathies were with...
You are an excellent tactician, Captain. You let your second in command attack while you sit and watch for weakness.
It's getting hot in here? I'm sorry. Yeah, Montalban, he does a great job as a Khan. And in fact, even to be the first time in the series where, besides the Naked Time, where I believe someone tries to take control over the Enterprise, and as well as trying to, use it for their own purposes. And yeah, at first, you're able, Khan is, what makes Khan so, I guess, when he's first introduced is, he's a man from a previous time, so he is just he's just amazed by all the technical marvels of the time period he is now in. and all that. And yeah, you can tell, like, you know, honesty, that, like, say, his character is a bit of a, like, one would say, a conqueror in a way. Well, you know, he is brand for, like, war in a way. Well, he basically, he was, like, he and all of his other men were done, like, known as selective breeding, so that they could be, like, you know, humanity's best, and then he'd be able to, like, take them and say, hey, my fellow individuals, we're the best of the best. Let's go out and prove it, sort of deals. And yeah, I gotta say, like, he does, like, say Mataman, he does a great job of working off of the other actors, such as...
I'm sorry, Captain. I was lost in thought. My door, locked from outside, a guard posted.
Working off actors like, say, Nimoy, and as well as Shatner.
Excellent. You identified me with your computer system, I imagine.
I'd like those answers now. First, the purpose of your star flight.
A new life, a chance to build the world.
And as always, like, say, one thing that would, like that he ends up doing is, like, say, he ends up getting to a fight, and at first it's almost like a mutiny, but not everyone is willing to, like, say, hey, you get all, I'm gonna get all my enemies, but I'm also taking control of this ship. But eventually, like, say, a lot of times in Star Trek, there's a big battle between, like, say, Captain Kirk and Khan. And yeah, eventually, Khan is subdued, and he is given, like, a choice. Hey, either be here, like, you know, become, like, as, like, a prisoner, or you are going to become sent off to the planet of City Alpha 5, and if you can, and all that. So yeah, and also the character McGivers, she ends up going along with him because she ends up like falling for him.
Such men dare take what they want.
And well, can't you blame? Yeah, like, say, so she says, like, say, you know, I'm gonna go with them because she is a a scientist, like, you know, that's discovering, like, or say, it's almost sort of like an archaeologist / scientist, like, learning about, like, say, the past and all that. So, what actually happened after that? Well, after like, you know, they're given all the materials they need to survive on City Alpha 5 to, you know, make their whole colony and all of that. However, bit of a disaster happens, so all of these shifts on the planet starts to become absolutely bad. So, but one thing that's revealed is, though, like, say, hey, this planet is about as bad as planet of Arrakis, almost, in a way. And that it's kind of a desert almost, since, you know, these cosmic shift changes and all that. So, like, say, the one thing that they have that's almost, that can, you know, kill them is the Seti Eels. And so, but eventually, one thing that does happen, though, is, like, these Seti Eels, they will actually cause you to go insanely mad. But one of the victims of the Seti Eels was his wife. So, one thing that eventually leads into is the sequel to Star Trek's Motion Picture, The Wrath of Khan. And I gotta say, even after many years later,
I don't know you.
like we've already discussed Wrath of Khan, but Montalban in the Wrath of Khan, he still aged like fine wine. But yeah, one thing, another like role that like a lot of people say that Montalban is in is, say, the Fantasy Island. So yeah, but I gotta say, Space Seed is actually a very great episode. It's entertaining. It's got, well, I mean, in honesty, Montalban, like, say, Khan, he is like he's sort of like, say, like the greatest foil to Kirk, and that he is, like, say, both of them are the alphas in the case, but they are dualities, when we're saying so. But I gotta say, like, Space Seed is still holds up as one of the greatest episodes of the original Star Trek. But come season 2, maybe we'll find even better episodes too. And because keep in mind, when I first started doing Star Trek with a noob, which was just me and with a microphone, that was just me talking, like watching episodes and talking about them. This is more in depth. So yeah, eventually we'll begin to season 2. So what do you guys think of the episode Space Seed? Put your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll most definitely see you next time. See you later.